Okay, so a while ago I worked out that if you print onto acetate with a non-laser printer, the ink doesn't dry but stays quite wet. So what I wanted to do is have one sheet of red acetate and one sheet of black acetate and a red regular background and a black regular background, and scratch the red off the black and the black off the red to reveal the colour underneath the acetate. Somehow, being a genius, I managed to stick the two wet sides of the acetate together, but it turned out that worked really well and looked really cool. Using a cigarette filter, I started to remove some of the red ink, creating small scratches and marks into the ink on the acetate. I quite like the effect I got using this technique. It needs some editing and some sound obviously, but pretty happy with what I've got. I then started working with the black bit of acetate, and the first part I didn't really like. It wasn't really sure what I was doing and wasn't keen on it. I then got a light box and put the bit of acetate with another bit of red acetate underneath, and turned the light box on and the lights on the side off, which led to a sort of moonscape effect which I quite liked. Still wasn't really sure what I was doing, and I'm not as keen on it as I am of the first part, but I'll see what I can do with it. I might be able to edit it and make it look a bit more interesting. I included a cutscene which isn't really great, but I might just use that bit instead of the rest of it. Here's just a selection of the photos I took when I layered all the acetate on a light box. Some of them are really quite nice. Then lies swinging the Lambeth fork kind of inspired me to think about having a slightly abstracted title sequence just to introduce the film I'm making. Being a horror fan, I instantly thought of blood when I thought of the word scratch. I wanted to have the word scratch sort of on my arm in a red paint. I thought of a few ways that I could do this while having it look like it was being scratched onto my arm, and the best way seemed to be by reversing the frames so that instead of scratching and messing up the paint, it went the other way. So I tried this out a few times and here's what I got. These three tests led me to these last two, which I think are the best, but I'm still not sure which one to choose. I like the simpleness of test 4, but I also like the way we lit and did test 5. The shaky hand looks really cool. They're both only 10 frames each, so they're incredibly quick. This then leads us on to the sniff, which I did using sherbet and a straw. In these first two tests, I'm seen sniffing up the word sniff, but I found my hand got in the way and it looked wrong. In this third test, I put the word into the powder, which looks a lot better, I think. The last thing I did was try some stuff with some coloured paper on sugar paper. In the final part you see me changing the background colour from black to red and black to red, which at the time I thought looked really rubbish, but actually quite like it now and wish I'd continued with this. Probably going to edit all of this footage and then I shall show you what I'm going to do next when I've had some food. Sick.